Hey, how you doing, Mr. George? All right, so we just got your package back. So we're gonna inspect it to make sure that we see what's going on with it. All right, so you can see we haven't opened it yet. Okay, so I'm opening it now. Okay. Oh. Okay. Put this knife away. I want to cut myself. Take all this out. Appreciate the packaging. Here. The Black Magic Design sticker you put on there, huh? That through the rubber wrap. Sorry about the long video, but we got to show you, that we got to make sure that we verify. I want you to see, that we aren't doing anything to it. Show you. Open it up. Okay. All right. get a plug, plug it up. Plug it in, cutting it on now. Okay, it came on. All right, so now let's hook the ATEM up to it. And plugging in power. Came on. All right, now we're gonna plug in Ethernet, even though we don't have that hooked up. Now it went off because it was power saver mode. So it's gonna do that. Let's see, HDMI out. No, USB-C would be next. It's here. HDMI out. Here. Okay, and it came on. I didn't do anything but just plug it up. And it's already on.
And you just plugged in the HDMI
now, if you were alone, I mean, I don't know if you have a ATEM Mini Pro, and I mean, I know you have an ATEM Mini Pro, my bad. What I meant to say is, I don't know if you don't have your ATEM Mini Pro plugged up before you plug the monitor in and then it goes to sleep like it did with us. But as you can see, I did nothing but took it out the package and plugged in. I don't even have all the cables plugged in yet. I got the power cable plugged in, the Ethernet, the USB-C, and as soon as I plugged the HDMI cable in, the monitor came on. So this unit is working correctly. All right, so we're gonna continue. And I took this out of the box. You saw it. It was packaged. I didn't, all that packaging that you had on there, you know, of course I couldn't have repackaged all of that. So I did nothing to this box but plugged it up. All right, so what we're gonna do now is continue through the process just to make sure that everything is working properly. All right, so we're gonna go with HDMI 4. Three. What is 3? No, 3. 2. 1. Mic 2. I think the tag might be further down. Yeah, it is, but this is audio 2. And mic 1. We got audio, but you know, pretty sure you understood what we meant. All right, we're just gonna push it in. I'm not gonna even look in the box. I'm just gonna go ahead and push it in. All right, so so far this is what we have. All right, next is I'm gonna get my computer from up here and my cables. Everything, we're gonna check it out just like how we normally check every unit before it leaves the studio. So we're gonna check the whole process out. This is our process. So I don't know whether your firmware is not updated. I can't tell you what the problem could be, because now that we have the live box back in our possession, it's working correctly, and we didn't do nothing but take it out of the packaging. All right, so first, go around the back side. We're gonna plug in the USB-C hard drive to make sure that this is working properly. It's probably kind of dark. Let me put my light on. Hold on 1 second. All right, so we're plugging in the USB-C. I'm gonna plug that in. All right, right, so we're gonna go around and look at the front of it. And like we said on our previous video, if this light doesn't come on, then it's a simple step. All you do is unplug the USB-C and flip it around. And it's guaranteed to work every single time. See that? You just give it a minute and it's guaranteed to work every single time. All right, so next thing we're gonna check out. Let's Ethernet cable in. All right, so we're gonna plug that into the laptop. So far, Mr. George, unfortunately, we won't be able to cover that shipping cost until we find out that there is actually something wrong with this unit. And then, of course, we will cover the shipping charge of you shipping it back to us, along with the shipping charge of us sending it back to you if something is wrong with it. If there's nothing wrong with the unit, that shipping charge is on you. And to send it back to you, we will send you a PayPal notification for that additional shipping back to you charge. But if you want those modifications that you talked about, we'll go ahead and talk back and forth through the email, and we'll negotiate whatever that price is going to be. All right, so let's continue. All right, so next step. So I'm gonna log in to my computer here. All right, we opening up the ATEM Mini Control software, which is I have it update. It was 8.5.3, which is the latest update. Like we said on our previous video, our latest video. Okay, and then it pops up like this, letting you know to connect to your ATEM. Then you hit connect. And all this is, Mr. George, is so that you'll be able to control your ATEM, because the settings on the inside of the ATEM that cannot be controlled unless you use the software to control it. All right, so once you set certain settings on the software, it automatically transfer those settings on the inside. That's the only way you're able to control the inside, the settings on the inside of the ATEM Mini Pro. And also, if your firmware is not updated on the ATEM Mini Pro, then your software won't be updated as well. And this is a black magic problem. Sometimes it goes out, it'll come back every single time. But that's black magic. That has nothing to do with our setup or anything. That's the software. That's their finicky stuff that they have to keep updating their firmware and software. All right, so we're gonna click on the gear icon. Show that down here at the bottom. This is once you update your software to version 8.5.3 and also update the firmware inside of your ATEM to match the software. And if you need instructions on that, you're going to have to contact Blackmagic. But it's very simple. All right, so we're going to click this the gear icon, so the settings and come up. See, it says settings, and we have ours set to auto. Now I'm going to show you something. If I change this to say 29.93. Watch what the screen does. Hold on, I had to hit set here to set. See what the screen does? And that could be an indication that you think that something is wrong with the monitor. But there's nothing wrong with the monitor. It's just the fact that the resolution of the screen doesn't match the resolution that the ATEM is sending, the signal that it's sending. So when we go back over here and switch this, even if we switch it, let's switch it to 29.97 and hit set. It's going to do the same thing. It's not going to recognize that. It only recognizes 59.94, 50 frames, 50p, 59.94, and 60p. All right, so we'll come back over here. And just to show you that, we're going to switch it to 1080p 50. And you'll see it comes up. You see the lines in the screen? See, it does all kind of crazy stuff when it's not set to the right resolution. All right, and as soon as we hit set, watch what happens. It comes up. So this is a very easy step. And a lot of people are getting confused, and I don't understand why. But it's a simple step. Just make sure that it's set. And a lot of times we shoot with our cameras at 24p or 29.97p. And then we go inside of the software and we think that we need to set the same resolution. But see, what the ATEM Mini Pro is, it's a live broadcaster. It's not your normal capture device. It's just for broadcasting a signal. So what it's doing, it has encoders on the inside of this. So whatever type of video signal you send to this encoder, it's saying, I'm going to encode it and make it ready for the web. So if you send in 24p, if you send in 2398, if you send in 30p, you send in 2997, you sending all these different signals into the ATEM. All the ATEM is saying, I'm going to encode it and turn it into a signal that's ready for the web. And the ATEM Mini Pro only displays a 1080p signal, which is something that I don't really like, because when you're streaming 1080p, it's harder for it to keep up, as far as buffering and stuff. So you have to have a real fast internet service in order to stream that. And Blackmagic doesn't offer the 720p. I don't know why, but that's a Blackmagic problem. All right, so when we come back over here, as soon as we switch this back to either 50p or either 59.94 and hit set, you got to hit set so it'll recognize, it'll take. It'll still display. And then also the one that I normally keep it on is auto, but auto is the same on my setup as, I think it's 1080p 60. As you can see, it came back up again. And I'm going to just put it to auto, just in case whatever monitor I'm using is not 60p. So auto would say ATEM. The software is saying to the ATEM, switch to what I need to in order for whatever particular monitor I'm using to work. So that's why I always recommend just hit auto, and it'll recognize whatever type of monitor you're using, and it'll just automatically send the right resolution. And as you can see, one more time over here, when I switch to auto, this bottom selection down here is grayed out, but it says 1080p 60 because that's the type of monitor that we're using. Okay. All right, so we're gonna hit done. All right, because we're done with that. Now what we want to do also is hook up a camera to make sure that we are getting displays. We're gonna hook the headphones up to make sure that we got audio. Audio coming through, and just do a full inspection of the whole unit, so that way we can make sure that what we're giving you is a proper working product. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pause this video because I don't want it to be too long, and then I'll just send you the next video. Okay.
We're at 17:40 seconds right now.
Whoa, might have to press this real tight.
Yeah.
All right. Cut. All right, Miss George, this is part 2. We're back. All right. So we're gonna all we basically did was just plug this HDMI cable in right here, and we got it running to the camera right here. And I'm using a Canon C100 Mark II, but it doesn't matter. Whatever you plug into it, it's going to work. All right, so let me go ahead and put it on something. I'll go ahead and play our last video. All right, so we'll hit play button here. So many buttons on these cameras nowadays. You be forgetting where the stuff at sometime. Hold up. Okay, all right, so the video is playing on the screen here on the camera, and we got it running out of the output, and we're going into the input of the case, which is going into the input of the ATEM Mini Pro. ATEM Mini Pro, that's another thing. Hopefully you're using the Pro version. The Mini will work, but it'll just give you one display. They don't have the there's different little screens and all that. So I'm hoping you're using the Pro version so you can see exactly what we see. Cut the little light off. Might be causing a glare.
Yes.
All right, so as you can see, we are working here. We automatically mute the monitor, so that way when you get it, most likely if you're in a situation where you're working a job, you're going to want to use your headphones. All right, so but what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute the monitor just so that you can hear the audio. You can turn the audio on one. You got to make sure that this is turned on. I know you probably know that already. Oh, but there it is. So you might have turned the audio back on. I don't know if you did that or not. You might have wanted your audio. Turn it up a little bit just so you can hear it's working. Okay, so we're working there. The audio is working fine. All right, so now we're gonna get the headphones, put them up here. Got stuff everywhere. Hope you don't see my socks. I was telling my wife not to show that part. All right, so hold on one sec. Let's go ahead and put them on for a second. Headphones work. All right, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the volume up some so that we can hear it.
Excuse me.
All right, so let's see. We're gonna go into the software. We're gonna go down here to audio. You probably know all of this, and we're gonna turn the gain up. Oh, that's the pan. My bad. Hold on just a sec. About to make another long video if I don't get it right fast enough. This thing will not go back to 0. It's like finicky. That's must be my new word. Alright, so and that's as loud as it's gonna. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna mute this so we can hear just this. Okay, I don't know if you wanted that muted or not, but I muted it. Hold on one second. Let's see. Yeah, it's working. It's just low. Let's put it on a different video so that way you can actually really hear it. But it's working fine. Let's switch the video right quick. Get it to something that's gonna make a lot of noise. Let's play this. This you should hear. It's gonna play in a minute. The headphones, so I hope you can hear that. She stopped. Hold on one second. The video is. All right, here we go. About to start now. You're waiting on my camera. Don't worry about it. All right, so we verifying that it works. It ain't the loudest, but that's because the ATEM. Again, I don't have nothing to do with the output preamps on this thing. But yeah, it's working fine. All right, so now we will switch the inputs on the back so that we can go from camera 1 through 4 to make sure each input is working. All right, so I'll hold the camera and Nisha will do the switching. All right, now we went from 1, we're going into 2. All right, so you can see 2 is working. There's no flickering or anything. And if the camera is showing any flickering on the phone, but it's not, then that's the phone, because it's not like that. What we're looking at is good, clean footage. Go to 3. And that's 3 working. Go to 4. And that's 4 is working also. And I'm going to just go ahead and switch to 4 up top in the preview, and then I'm going to cut to it using the auto button down here and fade it to the actual program view. But yeah, everything is working, and that's basically everything on your particular box. All right, so we're going to test the mic out right quick. So we have a lapel attachment down here going into this dynamic mic, and we're going to let me see, we're gonna cut this audio off, and then we're gonna, oh my bad, I'm not even showing you what I'm doing. I cut that off, and now I'm gonna cut the audio on mic 1, and we are plugged into top 1, if you can see that. That's mic 1. All right, so Nisha, go ahead and test it.
Okay.
Testing 1 1 1. Testing 1 2 1.
All right, stop in between. Let me hold it for a second. So this is how we're gonna show you that it works. Test. You can see the levels jump. Now I'm gonna turn the, now when we, let's go ahead and turn this back on so you can actually, it's gonna be hard for you to know that the mic is working because you're gonna hear us, you know what I'm saying? So there's really no need to do that. I just, I'm just gonna show you the levels so that way you'll know it's working, because there's no way for you to know that because you're gonna hear us singing it. All right, so let's go to 2. Let's go ahead and mute this first.
I could go out.
Okay, Anisha suggested that she could go out. So go out, go all the way around in another room. And we are on 2 now. All right, so now we're gonna cut the monitor volume back on so you can hear it. Let me see. I think that's on. I think that's staying on. And so now let's go ahead, Nisha. Go back out.
Test.
Okay, you can hear her.
Testing. Test. Test. 1, 2.
All right, that's 1. Let's switch back to, that's mic 2. So now let's switch back. We're gonna cut this one off. Go back to 1. Say something. You shouldn't hear nothing at first. All right, so you don't hear. All right, so I'm gonna switch this in the back to 2. I should have muted that before I did that. All right, now go ahead.
Testing 1, 1. Test. 2.
And that's audio mic 1, and you're hearing it. So the box, the whole unit is fine. You can come back. All right, so I'm gonna end the video. It's getting kind of long again, but yes, sir, Mr. George, your live box is working perfectly. I don't know how you're setting up your ATEM and how your software is being set up, but you need to update everything, and maybe that's your issue. Other than that, you're good to go. All right, so we'll send you an email explaining anything else that we need to talk about, and then that way you can give us your feedback. All right, see you then.